Hello everyone, welcome to Blue Dragon Universe. This is the Blue Dragon Actual YouTube channel, and today's topic is how to earn in dollars in Actuary. So without wasting any time and to keep the video short, so the most important point is this is not possible for everyone, and in fact most won't be able to do this. So it's not a video or it's not a concept that everyone can do, right? And it is only for people who are skilled, right? And of course paper actuaries can't do that. People who have just cleared papers and are think that that is the biggest achievement of their life, once again time and again I've told this, they can't do this. And moving on, you need to be specialized in one concept and or maybe multiple concept, right? But you have to be specialized in something, like you are the maybe the you have very good knowledge in IFRS 17, or you are extremely good in US GAAP, LDTI, right? Or you know a actual software in and out. So only then you can do that. People who are just, especially most of the, pension companies, I've seen people are just running few macros, or in, KPO sector, BPO sector, I've seen people who are running couple of models, getting the result, and they're very happy and they consider that as actual job, which do not involve any brain work. So that is not going to help you in this manner. So you can't earn in dollars. You are forever limited by an employer who would pay you in rupees only, right? So you can't even think of doing this. So you need to be very, very specialized in one particular domain in which you are maybe in the top 10 or top 15 in the entire world. Until and unless you are in that level, you can't, do this. So moving on, there are actually three ways we can do that. First is jobs in offshore. So we have seen people who are getting job in UK, Germany, and Bermuda. These are the three countries which are kind of offering job. And I would not like to take name of people, but even when I was in Sun Life, there are two people who have got job in Bermuda. They left. One of them was directly reporting it to me, so I know that person. But I'm not going to take any name. Another way is to do masters in actuary. Recently, a couple of days back, I was helping someone in SA2 paper who was doing a master in actuary and from UK, the CAS Business School from UK. And she has moved over to that country. She got the visa, and then she also got a job in that country. So, if you are, especially if you are in the initial phase, or if you have some difficulty, like especially like I mentioned this before, if you are a female, maybe passing through a difficult time, like you got married, because of that you are not able to clear some papers on the pregnancy and everything, and then suddenly there is a separation, divorce, etc., and then you feel that you are not able to work because you are out of uh, the actual syllabus or out of the actual practice for a long time. So then this is a very good way to come back to the corporate. Most people would do the masters and come back and kind of get a job here, but uh, of course the industry distinguish between these two. It's not that industry don't distinguish. If you are clearing paper through the normal method like we do, and if you are clearing paper through something like this, like where you have to do masters and have to get certain percentage in every paper, so that that will be exempted by IFA, right? And these exemptions are given by IFA only. I don't think II give any exemption other than the ISI one in the statistical institute. I don't think II give any exemptions, but I'm not sure on that. So you need to check the exemption tab of the II. Probably in the recent time there might be some colleges that II give exemption, but I don't think those colleges are in India, right? This is one of the way you can do that. And if you get a student visa, if you complete your masters there, you can, obviously you can get job. But once again, this is a shortcut. Like I was telling that I was helping a person there. I mean, that person has very limited knowledge, right? So even if you get a job there, you will struggle with the job. Like I mentioned, the specialized knowledge is very, very important. You don't have specialized knowledge, you'll be kicked out of the job. Especially in foreign countries, the layoffs are very, very high, right? So it's unlike India. In those countries, the layoffs are very, very high. If you are not good in job, you'll be kicked out, right? So moving on, you have to connect with the right HR firm. There are a couple of HR firms who are doing that. Once again, I'm not going to promote anyone, and I think you can easily figure it out, right? So I think need to connect with the right HR firm and right HR people, and they can help you secure a job. Once again, these interviews are very, very tough. It's not easy interviews, and once again, that is where your real knowledge comes into picture. They will ask you question based on what you have done, and you have to explain those, right? And they will test you thoroughly. So if you are not able to clear that, if you are a paper actuary, if you are just doing process, they are not interested in the process. They are interested in your understanding of actual concept. If you can't display that in the interview, you're not going to get through. And finally, these are permanent roles, and you need to move out of India. So you have to be, kind of ready with that. Although I seen that many people are very, very, kind of interested in leaving India. Like many people also ask me, why are you not considering leaving India? So I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't. My family is here, so I don't kind of, consider that. And also, I'll in the for remaining portion of the slide, you see that you can stay in India and earn better. So it's not about moving out of India, because there the expense would also be in dollars. All they were earning in dollars. Is the best approach would be to stay in India or maybe a country closer to India in terms of the expenses, but then you earn in dollars there. Right? So that's the ultimate goal you should have if you want to continue in a job or something like that, right? So these are, as I mentioned, these are permanent roles. So you have to move out. I know a couple of people who have done that in the past, and they are kind of happy. They're earning a lot more than they would be earning in India for the same level of skill set, but at the same time they're also spending a lot more than they would be spending in India. So it's kind of balances out, right? Moving on. Now, getting a contractual job, right? And jobs are kind of offered in the audit sector. Usually in the audit sector, it can be audit of the models like profit model or access model or Moses model. Right? So it can be audit of the model, or it can be audit of the result. So once again, auditing something means that you need to have thorough knowledge of that. Without knowledge, you can't do that. So these are contractual jobs for a particular time. Usually, I've seen it will be 6 months, but in 6 months you will get very high payment, because otherwise the company has to establish a KPO, get permissions. There are so many hindrance in getting a private limited company. I am running a private limited company, so I can understand, right? There are so many government related restrictions and illogical things that you have to, especially the ease of doing business in India is very, very poor. I can tell you from experience. So, I mean, it's very, very difficult to open a company, private limited company, especially in India. Remaining companies can be opened very, very quickly, and also there are a lot of compliance issues. So, a company which will offering you, contractual job, and actually the company would be offering this contractual job to the consultants, maybe to a PwC or to a Ernst and Young, and that consultant is hiring you to do the job, right? And because of your knowledge and whatever, and then these are contractual roles for a particular time, maybe usually 6 months and or maybe 1 year, then it will get over. But if your performance is good, usually you will get another role, right? So that is how you can, but that risk you have to take, right? So that is how you can get a contractual job. I have seen there is a company called Actuaries on Tap, which is working on this approach. But you need not do that. You need not get affiliated with Actuaries on Tap. You can also float your own company, which is a solo proprietorship. It's not a private limited company, as I mentioned. So, if you float a private limited company, then I mean there are several avenues that you can try, but solo proprietorship is a very easy method to get such job. You will not be getting this contractual role as an individual. You'll be getting this contractual role as a firm, as a company, right? So you need to float that, and there are so many, kind of uh, people who are doing that. And opening a solo proprietorship is the easiest of opening a firm for you. You can do that very, very easily. Almost nothing is required. But if you go higher and higher, like limited liability partnership, all those things you have probably heard or studied in CB1, I believe, or CD2 in our time. The limited liability partnership, and then as you one man one I think there is a one man company as well, and there are several layers to that, right? And final layer will be private limited company. So the higher you take this, the more difficult would be for you to get the opening a firm. So I suggest to do a solo proprietorship, open a firm if you are involved in this sort of thing. Once again, the knowledge that is required for this would be, you need to be highly skilled, otherwise you are not going to get that job, right? But all this would pay you in dollars. But here the catch is the job would be there for some time. It might not be a permanent thing, right? So you might lose your contract, although in that time you are earning a lot. Maybe your the earning that you will be getting, maybe it's 1 CR or more than that. And but after 1 month, after 1 year or 6 months, then that entire earning would vanish. Depending on whatever there is a recession, maybe in the US you will not you will lose the job, and these jobs are usually offered by US and Canada side. Very rarely from the Europe side, but I've seen job from the Europe side as well. But usually the plethora of job comes from US and Canada. Okay, moving to the last one, and I think this is this. There are some websites called Fever or Freelancer. So here you can register yourself and you can put forward your skills. It's like creating a CV in a platform, and then if the client is interested in your CV, you can get an assignment. Here you can also teach someone. I've seen several such jobs like where people are requesting teaching, right? Which is what I do usually in through the Blue Dragon Universe, kind of private limited company. So yeah, people, you can also do that by registering yourself as a freelancer. In this case, you'll get the earnings in dollars. But once again, this is not a stable income. The income would also be a bit lower as compared to the other two avenues, right? And you need some other source of income as well. Especially initially, it is very difficult to get a job like that because there are some parameters that people will see, and if you are very new, right, you would not have anything to fill for those parameters. So you can check this platform, Fiverr Freelancer, and you can register yourself. Once again, you are helping someone means that you are very good in that thing, right? So if you can combine AI with Actuary or any coding expertise you have, then you can significantly increase your, uh, uh, what can I say, revenue. And in this case, you do not need a solo proprietorship or any company. You can work as an individual. And if you have expertise in one thing, you can do very well there, right? So if you are already working in a company, you have some free time, you can do this. And I mean, the second and the third approach is something that maybe I can also explore in future. Kept on mentioning this multiple times that in actually my goal is to create a company which would be kind of taking contractual jobs from the offshore. Like I believe in future the ease of doing business in India would go down because I've kind of registered here, and I know for a fact that is going to happen. So if that happens, then people would prefer this sort of route, like giving you contractual job. Then if you have some strong knowledge in a, like I mentioned, in software or in a particular area, right? Then you can get the job. Now, my goal is always to create a company like that and hire people who have been trained by us or by me in the Blue Dragon universe, right? So people who have passed from us, they would also get the job to work in that domain, and then I can take multiple jobs. And I also have uh, what can I say, that faith in the abilities because these people are trained by me. So uh, uh, they would know something, right? Which is where the courses like actual inner engineering, Sparkle One would help you, right? So I mean, I created that course with that thought process in mind because it's very after years of taking interviews, I understand that is very interviews a flawed process. You cannot judge a person based on 30 minutes or 1 hour of interview. But if someone is kind of purchasing course from you, someone is showing that interest and someone asks you questions, then I think you know that yeah, this is a person who you can rely on because this person has shown those over a period of time, right? Shown those characteristics, and I think that's the reason. And another company I would like to float would be in the hedge fund sector or the investing sector, trading sector. So right now there is no actuary, or I mean, leave actuary. I mean, there is nothing much in that sector. Everything is kind of in a gray area. And I think I can work on both this, and the actual firm can also take up coding related projects, which is what and also AI related projects, for which I need to also kind of maybe do well on those areas, or maybe upgrade myself AI and coding related areas, right? So which I'll be doing, and these are not short term plans. I mean, this will take some time, but of course these are areas which can be explored, and only if you have expertise in a particular domain. That is why this expertise is very very important. If you are just clearing papers by cheating in the IFO exam, which is usually the case, then you are not going to get to this level. It's impossible for you to get to this level, right? And with the after the election, I believe the government, this same government is likely to continue. They have already introduced a different tax regime which would neglect the ATC. So with ATC going down, I believe insurance sector in India would come down, because most people purchase insurance not because of protection, but because of kind of, maybe for saving their taxes. And that's the fact. That's a hard fact. And I think the revenue of insurance would come down in future, right? So that is, once again, that is an assumption where we would only get to know about that after 4th June. Maybe different, political party getting elected, that would never materialize, right? But if the same political party continues, then this is going to happen in future, right? So I mean, from an India perspective, this is not looking good. But India has got a lot of talent, and the people who are outside, they are looking to leverage on this talent. I can say that for a fact, because when I work at a senior level, so I believe that I can you can take me, trust me on that, right? So these are the points. The first point I kind of mentioned was getting a job. Second point was getting a contractual job, and third point was where you are an individual and you are working through these platforms, right? So these are the things, but once again, these are something that would not happen for someone who is not skilled, and these are things that will take some time, right? So but this is the future, right? This is the future, especially as I mentioned, if you can combine AI and actually, if you have significant coding experience, you can do that. I mean, there are places that you can go and you can earn beyond imagination. And I've seen people doing that, not in actuary sector, but in the other sector, maybe in the trading sector. I've seen people who are writing codes for algorithmic trading, and they're earning a lot, right? So yeah, that's it. I hope you like this video. So please like, because I'm seeing the number of likes is reducing, and I try to keep the video small. And from now onwards, I'll try to keep the video small, so that many people can see that. So like, comment for anything. Yeah, see you in future videos.